all Renegades of Puck to the trenches. It's time for Renegades of Puck TV. Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the essence of no half-stepping. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier, and let me once again begin the show as we are going to for the next 5 weeks, talking about the home base freakout. Of course, you know all about it by now, but have you heard about some of the amazing announcements and special guests that we have coming to the home base freakout? 1538 Demondrian Street, that's Tailgate Brewery. That's on Music Row. We are so incredibly happy to be partnered with Tailgate Brewery. They are going to put on an incredible event with us, the Renegades of Puck, and also Eric Young, the Ultimate Predator, the rest of the Renegades of Puck, and former Nashville Predators captain Mike Fisher. Stu Grimson will be joining us in attendance. We will have so many other special guests, including Haley Murphy from Couch Guy Sports, Allie Lacombe, Teresa Walker, and so many others that we'll be announcing to you here in the coming days and weeks leading up to the event. It is going to be simply an incredible event that people are talking about for years to come. One night where the entire hockey community can come together, drop all alliances, and just celebrate the great game. The night before the Stadium Series, that'll be February the 25th at Tailgate Brewery. Please go to renegadesofpuck.com to learn everything you need to know about the Renegades of Puck. We have a whole lot of new viewers in here right now, and we'd appreciate each and every one of you for checking us out and getting to know a little bit more about us. Renegadesofpuck.com is also where you'll find our merchandise link. You can already get Home Base Freakout merchandise before we even get to the event. We're so incredibly excited about it. We went ahead and put our merchandise on sale for it. So before the event even comes along, you can already be wearing the gear. We also have our classic logo t-shirts. We have our Pride logo t-shirts and all of the other gimmicks you've come to love and expect from the Renegades of Puck. Remember, when we put socks, throw pillows, bed sets, and wall art in our online store, you know the Renegades of Puck have sold out so that you can buy in. We sure would appreciate also if you would help us out on social media. Give us a subscription on YouTube. From 0 to well over 100 subscriptions in just over a couple of months. We're doing a great job of building things out, but we can continue adding more Renegades day by day. It helps us out tremendously, and that is where you're going to find Renegades of Puck TV, our main show presentation. Social media platforms. We try to be active on each and every one of them. We would love it if you would go to Facebook and share the links to Renegades of Puck TV or respond to the event page for the Home Base Freakout. Also, you can find us on Twitter. We're heavily active on there. Each and every one of the Renegades of Puck are always up for the interaction. You can also find us on Instagram. We'll be making a lot of special announcements about the Home Base Freakout right there on Instagram. SoundCloud is where you'll find the audio-only version of the podcast of the Renegades of Puck, and Twitch. You'll find our behind-the-scenes live stream. If there are ever any mistakes, second takes, giant F-bombs, or other things going on here in the bunker, you'll get to see it right there live on Twitch. You also get the information before everybody else because we don't get the fully produced version of Renegades of Puck up on TV on YouTube for a couple of hours after the live stream. So another alternative, another way for you to consume the essence of no half-stepping. We'd love it if you'd become a partner of the Renegades of Puck by going to Venmo or scanning the QR code right there on your screen. We have some incredible and generous donors, listeners, and viewers, and we are so thankful. Stick taps, love, and respect to each and every one of you. Whether you're buying me a cup of coffee, a brand new set of pens for the bunker, or you're helping me get that second microphone position all outfitted, we sure do appreciate it. Every little bit helps. Built by Renegades for Renegades, you guys are helping keep this operation going. Now, I have so many incredible people and partners and things that I want to tell you about throughout the show, but you come here for the no half-stepping hockey coverage, so let's get right into it. Your Nashville Predators begin the second half of the season by picking up a victory on home ice over the Winnipeg Jets. Full game recap coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Right now, let me give you the particulars of the division. After 42 games played, the Nashville Predators find themselves in second place in the Central Division. They have a record of 25-14-3. They have 53 points. They are currently 4 points behind the first place Colorado Avalanche. The Nashville Predators have played 4 more games than the Colorado Avalanche. The Preds are 2 points ahead of third place St. Louis, and they're also ahead of the Minnesota Wild. Then you'll find the Winnipeg Jets, the Dallas Stars, the Blackhawks, and the Arizona Coyotes rounding out the bottom of the division. Now, what is becoming difficult about giving you the standings on a daily basis? typically at this time of year, teams are within just a matter of a game or two of games played. When you look across the entirety of the Central Division, you see the Nashville Predators at 42 games played, but then you see the Minnesota Wild at 35, the Winnipeg Jets at 36, Dallas at 37. So you see quite the disparity and differential between games played of these teams. It is becoming a little bit more difficult to tell exactly what the true picture is. But the Nashville Predators, beyond that, are exceeding all expectations at this point in the season, and 53 points and 25 victories is certainly impressive by any team's standards. On home ice, the Nashville Predators have a record of 12-7, and their goal differential is currently at plus 13, 130 goals for and 117 goals against. The Nashville Predators will welcome in their old division rival, the Detroit Red Wings, for the second and final meeting of season between these two teams. You go back to the first meeting, it took place on December 7th. The Nashville Predators went into Detroit and scored a 5-2 victory. It was the captain, Roman Josi, as it has been all season long. A goal and 2 assists for 3 points in that game. Johansson matches him also with a goal and 2 assists. Riddick got the start and got the victory. An incredibly light night on the road. 14 saves on only 16 shots against. Once the Nashville Predators wrap up this season series with the Detroit Red Wings, Tuesday night they'll be in Seattle for the first time in franchise history and looking to make up for that opening night loss against the Seattle Kraken. Thursday night, the Nashville Predators will be at Edmonton. On the 1st of February, the Preds will face off against the Vancouver Canucks, and then they will not play for 8 days until they face off against the Stars in Dallas on the 9th of February. And on the 12th of February, the Nashville Predators will face off against tonight's opponent again in the Winnipeg Jets. Now, the Detroit Red Wings, last time the Nashville Predators played them, the Wings were a very hot team, and they were on quite a streak at home. They have not been able to maintain that level of consistency ever since, and now hold a record of 18-17-5. They are 5th overall in the Atlantic Division, 5-11-3 on the road, and a minus 22 goal differential on the season. Taking a look at their most recent stretch of 5 games, on the 9th of January was a 4-3 shootout loss at Anaheim, and then on the 11th of January, a 3-2 overtime loss at San Jose, following a 3-0 loss versus the Winnipeg Jets. On the 15th, a 4-0 win versus Buffalo, and then their most recent game, a 3-2 overtime win at Buffalo. Now, the Detroit Red Wings will be in a situation where they will be hosting the Dallas Stars on Friday night and then traveling to Nashville to take on the Predators on Saturday. So the Preds will be sitting at home and resting after tonight's victory over the Winnipeg Jets, waiting for Detroit, while the Wings are at home facing off against the Stars. So that should set the Nashville Predators up for a much better opportunity to pick up another victory on this homestand. Something else, looking inside the numbers, should give the Nashville Predators an advantage in this matchup against the Detroit Red Wings. The Wings are not very highly rated in any statistical metric. Their goals for 2.68 is 24th. Their goals against is 3.23. That is 23rd overall in the National Hockey League. Shots for 29.1 is 25th. Their shots against is 26th. Their power play is only converting at 15%, which is 29th worst in the NHL. 17 power play goals in the season out of 113 opportunities, and their penalty kill is 19th in the NHL, giving up 23 power play goals against. Now, the Nashville Predators statistically and in most metrics look much better than the Detroit Red Wings, but some of these categories have slipped into some territory that has the Nashville Predators falling into the middle, into the bottom third, actually, in some of the goals for 3.07. One of the best of the numbers looked all season. That's 15th best in the league. Goals against at 2.76 is 11th. Now, shots for is simply not getting it done as of late, not in quality nor quantity. 29.4 is 24th in the league. Shots against 31.2. 15th in the league. It is just simply too much work for UC Saros to continuously put him under this much pressure each and every night. We'll have more details on that here in just a couple of minutes. The Preds do have the 6th best power play in the NHL, converting 32 times on 126 opportunities, or 25.4%, and the 12th best penalty kill overall, giving up 27 power play goals against on the season. Dante Fabro is out for the Nashville Predators, and his development is obvious this season, and he was playing considerably better than he had at any stretch for the Nashville Predators when he was injured. So right now, he is missing on the blue line, but that is giving others opportunities, and this Nashville Predators team has been completely rebuilt and revitalized based on the exact concept of others getting opportunities and stepping up and filling in. The Nashville Predators never would have made the moves they made in this last off-season run if it had not been for so many players stepping up last season. You can go back and you can see exactly where this team hit that demarcation point and started to transition into the future with the herd line leading the charge. For the Nashville Predators and the Detroit Red Wings, of course, there are a number of highly skilled individuals. And taking a look inside the numbers, the captain, Roman Josi, setting some impressive benchmarks, pacing well ahead of where he was in his Norris Trophy winning season, and now a point per game on the season through 42 games this season. No, I do not think that Roman Josi is going to threaten Paul Kariya's 85 points single season points record for the Nashville Predators in franchise history, but for a defenseman to be pacing 42 points in 42 games, it is highly impressive, and I think he is going to have a career year and without a doubt be a finalist for the Norris Trophy. Yet somehow, with 42 points on the season, 13 goals and 29 assists, he is not an all-star. Matt Duchene second on the team in scoring, leading the forwards with 17 goals and 18 assists for 35 points. Mikhail Granlund now has 6 goals and 29 assists for 35 points. Johansson at 12 and 21 for 33. Forsberg, 19 goals, leads the team, plus 11 assists for 30 points. And Tanner Jeannot leads all NHL rookies in goal scoring, 13 goals in the season at 12 assists, 25 points. He may make a significant run at the Nashville Predators single-season franchise record for a rookie in scoring. We'll continue to track that, of course, all season long. For the Detroit Red Wings, no surprise to see Dylan Larkin at the top of the list at 18 goals and 18 assists for 36 points. Bertuzzi at 18 and 14 for 32. Raymond at 11 and 21 for 33. And then you see Cedar with 3 and 22 for 25. And then you get on down to the netminders. Nedeljkovic at 12, 10 and 4, 9.918 save percentage, and a 2.69 goals against average, depending on how the Detroit Red Wings coaching staff decides to deploy their netminders. The Nashville Predators may see Nedeljkovic, but also may see Thomas Greiss. Greiss has a record of 6-7-1 and has an 8.94 save percentage with a 3.36 goals against average. UC Saros, of course, expected to get the start in net for the Nashville Predators with a record of 21-11-2, a 9.24 save percentage at this time in the season. For the Nashville Predators, this is an opportunity to take advantage of a team that is frankly not playing very good. If it wasn't for the recent back-to-back against the Buffalo Sabres, the Detroit Red Wings have not been playing very good or very impressive hockey as of late. Now, the Nashville Predators also had an opportunity to step on the Buffalo Sabres recently and failed to do so. They also had an opportunity to do the same thing to the Vancouver Canucks, also failed to do so. They must do this against the Detroit Red Wings to make up for the failings of some of these most recent home losses. And I expect on a big-time Saturday night in Nashville, following up after their Tennessee Titans playoff game, that the Nashville Predators will bring the jam and bring the effort and secure a victory over the Detroit Red Wings. It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. Rebirth Sports. You can find them on social media, and they are very easy to get in touch with: Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. You can also find them at rebirthsports.com. You see the jersey right here. You've also seen the many jerseys that I have worn before, whether it's in league play or tournament play for the Wish Cup here in the Middle Tennessee area, on Lake Nokomis for the United States Pond Hockey Championships. Wherever it is that I've gone and skated, I have always worn Rebirth Sports gear. And everywhere I go and everywhere I skate, I get asked about that gear. They always want to know, where did you get it? It's some of the best gear I've seen. I love it. I always tell them the same thing: Rebirth Sports. Not only can they take your vision and make it a reality like they have done with this jersey that you're seeing right here that I'm wearing, but you've also seen the road jersey for the Renegades of Puck. And soon you'll be seeing and we'll be debuting a third jersey for the Renegades of Puck. Thanks to Rebirth Sports, we've been able to pull off one of the great promotional stunts in all media. We have sent out personalized jerseys across the hockey landscape. Media members, celebrities, people that have earned their jerseys. You have seen some of the posts across our social media platforms, and we sure do appreciate Rebirth Sports for allowing us to pull off such a great promotional stunt. They are incredible partners. They're an incredible business. And I encourage each and every one of you to go to rebirthsports.com and let them know you heard about them right here in the trenches from the Renegades of Puck. Now, let's get into that Rebirth Sports full game recap. It was all the way back a couple of hours ago on the January 20th of the year 2022. The Nashville Predators are hosting the Winnipeg Jets, and John Hines deployed his line combinations as follows: Tolman and Johansson, Encon and Forsberg, Granlund and Duchene, Trennan, Sissons, and Jeannot, better known as the Herd, Mine, Cousins, McCarron, and Tomasino, Josi, Carrier, Ekholm, and Benning, Borowiecki and Tennyson called up and getting his first opportunity to start as a Nashville Predator. UC Saros gets the start in net. We are just a minute and 57 seconds between these two division rivals, and Jeannot is picking up a penalty for 2 minutes, but then Stanley is coming in and picking up a 2-minute roughing minor, and then both of them are picking up 5 minutes apiece. Some big punches are thrown at Bridgestone Arena to get things kicked off between the Nashville Predators and the Winnipeg Jets. 2:53 of the first period, you see Saros come up with a glove save on Harkin. 4:43, Johansson's got his 6th goal of the season, giving the Nashville Predators a 1-0 lead. He deflects Benning's shot. Actually, it's Tolvanen with his 6th goal of the season at 4:43 of the first period. He deflects Benning's shot off of the post and then puts his own rebound back into the net. It was challenged by the coaching staff of Winnipeg for a high stick. It was ruled to be a good goal, which means bench minor for a failed challenge against the Winnipeg Jets. Unfortunately for the Nashville Predators, they would not be able to cash in after Tolvanen's goal. This power play incredibly sloppy, and the Jets would end up having the better scoring chance. At 7:44 of the first period, Ekholm gets a shot with Sissons setting the screen. That has to be stopped by Connor Hellebuck. At 8:13 of the first period, Cunnins off the box, 2 minutes for tripping. UC Saros comes up with a save on Connor from the low slot. He absolutely outweighted Connor. It looked like an Old West gunfight as the two of them stood there trying to outweigh each other, and it's UC Saros coming away with the victory. 11:29 in the first, Granlund intercepts the clearing opportunity, gets a good scoring chance, circles right back around 20 seconds later and picks up his 6th goal of the season. The shot deflected off of the defender and in. Hellebuck never had a chance on this one. The Nashville Predators have a 2-0 lead over the Winnipeg Jets. 15:38 in the first period, UC Saros comes up with a save on Stastny with the outstretched kick of the leg. 16:31, Saros another save, this time on Stanley. 17:35, this time Ryan Johansson scores the goal, and it's his 12th goal of the season, giving the Nashville Predators a 3-0 lead in this game. The captain Roman Josi with the drop pass, Ryan Johansson with the 5-hole seeking wrist shot. 3-0 in favor of the Nashville Predators. Closing out the first period, the Preds are out shooting Winnipeg 11-9. Now, we've seen the Predators gain 3-0 leads in games a couple of times this season, and they have not been able to continue adding to it. So we'll see how they continue playing out the final 40 of this game. 55 seconds into the second period, Winnipeg is picking up another bench minor. This time it is for too many men on the ice. As a matter of fact, they counted 7, I believe, on the broadcast. There may have actually been more than that. Cousins off to the box, 2 minutes for high sticking, though, and that's going to lead to a 4-on-4 for 1:24. And I hope you like hearing about penalties, because we're about to hear about a whole bunch of them. Before that, though, Jeannot crashes into the net. Hellebuck and the Jets barely respond, and they had a 4-on-1 advantage in this particular moment. 4:58 of the second period, Borowiecki's off to the box, 2 minutes for high sticking. UC Saros has to come up with a save on Connor. Ekholm has the clear the crease plus a scrum, breaks out right after the whistle. Good job by the Nashville Predators to make sure that UC Saros is well defended and protected. Benning's off to the box at this point. 2 minutes for high sticking. Yes, that's another high sticking penalty. It's a 5-on-3 for 1:04. UC Saros would have to come up with a huge save on Connor, but unfortunately for the Preds, Dubois got his 17th goal of the season, getting Winnipeg on the board and cutting the lead to 3-1. It was a pass attempt, and it simply went off of Carrier, off the back of his leg, and into the net. UC Saros, just like Hellebuck on the most recent goal for the Preds, never had a chance to stop this one. Then we see a 5-on-4 scenario for 1:13. UC Saros is able to hold the line during a bunch of mayhem in front of the net and all around him at the crease. 9:34 of the second period. Tennyson's on the score sheet, but unfortunately it's not in a good way. 2 minutes for tripping off to the box. Saros would have to come up with a save on Perfetti as the power play expires, but then Luke Cunnin, right after the power play, scores his 9th goal of the season, and there's Tennyson getting on the score sheet in the right way. He picks up an assist as his shot is deflected perfectly by Luke Cunnin right there near the low slot. 9th goal of the season gives the Preds a 4-1 lead, and congratulations to Tennyson getting his first assist as a Nashville Predator. 14-11 in the second, you see Dubois go off to the box, 2 minutes, and then we'd see UC Saros come up with the shorthanded save on Kopp. Again, the Nashville Predators power play not getting the best scoring opportunity while they have the man advantage. At the end of the second period, Winnipeg is out shooting Nashville 23-19. So Winnipeg goes from 9 shots to 23 shots in the second period. 25 seconds into the third period, Scheifele, who usually has very good performances against the Nashville Preds, picks up his 10th goal of the season. It was a rebound off of Morrissey's long shot, positioned perfectly right there off to the side of the crease. He does a great job of putting the puck into the net. Nashville now has a 4-2 lead in this game. At 3:34 of the third period, UC Saros comes up with a save on Pionk on the doorstep. 6:01, Hellebuck comes up with a save on Cousins. 12:29, Tomasino has to be stopped on the doorstep after Yossi sets him up perfectly with a cross-slot pass. At 14:23, UC Saros comes up with another save on Dubois. Another kick-out save. 16:31. Pionk's shot leaks through UC Saros, but thankfully for the Nashville Preds, it does go wide of the post at the 17-minute mark of the third period. We'd see Winnipeg cashing in and going with the empty net snare. The Preds unable to convert for a while. At 19:11, we'd see a massive scrum after UC Saros comes up with a save, and the Nashville Preds are definitely protecting their netminder. Was really surprised that there weren't a handful of penalties called on this situation. Just a few seconds later after that, Tanner Jeannot takes a perfect blind pass from Colton Sissons right around the red line and finishes the playoff into the empty net with his 13th goal of the season, giving the Nashville Preds a 5-2 lead and a final score in this game of 5-2. The Preds are outshot 38-23. So Winnipeg goes from 9 shots in the first to 23 overall in the second to 38 by the end of this game. UC Saros is able to hold strong, and the Nashville Predators are able to avenge their early season loss against the Winnipeg Jets, tying the regular season series. The Preds needed that one in a bad way. The Winnipeg Jets, though they played dramatically fewer games than the Nashville Predators, they are behind them in the standings, and the optics of the Preds losing to another team below them in the standings in this current stretch that they are in would just not have been good. This is the first time they had faced any real adversity. UC Saros, the captain, Roman Josi, and the forward step up in the Nashville Predators come up with a big victory on home ice tonight. Never trailed, never looked behind, and did not blow a 3-0 lead. Yes, it did get a little more interesting for a couple of seconds there, but the Nashville Predators were able to handle their business without any problems against the Winnipeg Jets. I look forward to these two teams playing again. I always enjoy when these two teams play. There is certainly a lot of dislike going back a couple of years. The core of these two teams are still very much together. A lot of pieces have changed, of course, but that best-of-7 series a couple of years ago between the Preds and the Winnipeg Jets is certainly something that is going to be a lasting part of this rivalry. Good to see those two teams getting after each other again the way they have. That was your Rebirth Sports full game recap. Strong Style Fitness, an incredible partner jumping in the trenches here with the Renegades of Puck. You can find Strong Style Fitness on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or StrongStyleFit.com. 150 workouts now posted from a certified personal trainer that is completely free for you. Whether you're just getting started stretching, Renegades, or you're already an expert and you're ready to throw that iron, Tracy has a workout already designed and already posted for you. In an on-demand world, when you simply don't have the time, and frankly, when things are getting tight financially, Tracy is there to take care of you. She's there to bring you the stick taps, the love, and all of the respect in the world with her incredible training services, and it is completely free for you. If you don't like it, it didn't cost you a penny. If you do like it, go ahead and donate her a little bit of money, leave her a comment, and share some of her links. Help her build her brand the same way we're building Renegades of Puck. Again, StrongStyleFit.com. I need to talk about the captain, Roman Josi, the Nashville Predators. Tonight, with his 2 assists in this game, he moves into number 1 all-time for the Nashville Predators in number of assists. Now, Roman Josi ultimately will one day lead every single category for the Nashville Predators. He will be the record holder for the Nashville Predators. Yes, Pekka Rinne's number is going to be retired coming up here in a couple of weeks at Bridgestone Arena, but Roman Josi will be the next number for the Nashville Predators retired, and there's absolutely no doubt he is going to go down in history as one of the greatest Nashville Predators, and he will go down as one great NHL defenseman. We are spoiled here with the defensemen that we have been able to watch and follow and track throughout their entire careers. Roman Josi might be the most special out of all of them. Just incredible. Congratulations and all the stick taps, love, and respect in the world to the captain of the Nashville Predators, Roman Josi. I have to tell you also about Granlund and Johansson. Big games from them tonight at Bridgestone Arena. Johansson a goal and assist. Granlund with a goal and an assist. Granlund also leads the team in time on ice, as he almost always does, 20-49. Impressive effort by the forwards tonight, chipping in with 5 different goals. I need to talk to Sean C. Smith from ontheforecheck.com. He's got the intel that you need to know. He was at Bridgestone Arena tonight. He was on the front lines covering the Nashville Preds and the Winnipeg Jets, coming fresh off of the media scrum with the head coach and a couple of the players from ontheforecheck.com. You can find him on Twitter at SCSOTF. He is, of course, the one and only Sean C. Smith.
Thanks, Charlie. Hey, Renegades. Sean C. Smith just got back from what turned out to be a pretty long drive home from Bridgestone Arena with all the traffic, but let's talk about the game against the Winnipeg Jets. First off, big win, 5-2. Everybody's happy. Breaks that 4-game slide the Predators have been on and puts some more points up for the team, which we're going to talk about that in a minute. But I want to talk about the game itself. Now, everybody likes a big win. 5-2 is definitely a big win. But after the game, John Hynes had a few things to say. And what I think is most interesting was I made the comment in the middle of the second period that the Predators really needed to shut down the neutral zone. They were playing with a big lead. And unfortunately, sometimes a big lead means a team gets too comfortable. Well, it seemed like, the Jets just had too much time in their own offensive zone where they could just get in really easily and get stuff set up. Now, fortunately, the Predators have Juuse Saros, and he is the man right now. But when I said that, that was right in the middle of that whole onslaught of high sticking penalties, stick crimes, all that stuff that no one likes to see. But the good thing was, and this is the difference maker here, was that the Predators were able to defend most of those power plays and take care of killing off those penalties. Going into the third period, John Hynes said that the team didn't do that great of a job at keeping the Jets out, and the Jets were able to come in and, again, do what they wanted to do in the offensive zone. But let's go back to Juuse Saros, who put on a show with a lot of saves tonight. And, of course, the Predators were able to defend the zone. And even though they got in, they were able to keep them from scoring at will. And that was the biggest difference maker. John Hynes said he really thought the Jets did a pretty good job in the third period, and he thinks they got outplayed in the third period. Now, that's definitely a place to grow for this team. But when asked about the big slide recently, Hynes made this comment. He said the thing was they never got too low. And that's good because I made the comment before that I feel like after all those wins, the team got a little too high. And he always says, don't get too high, don't get too low, take the lessons and move on. Now, the team had gotten too high. The important thing, now there was a losing streak, was to not get too low. And they didn't get too low. He said they found a lot of different ways to lose, but it wasn't the same thing every night. And they were taking those lessons. And it looks like the Predators put a lot of those lessons back together tonight to come up with the win. Were there some lessons to take away from this game? Of course. The team definitely needs to, when they have a lead, lock up that neutral zone, deny entry to the other team, and try to keep the pressure off of Juuse Saros. But that third period, you've got to play a full 60. And it's interesting because they talked to the Jets head coach after the game as well, and he made the comment that he thought they played really, really well in the third period, which is really interesting because that lines up with what John Hynes said. Both coaches are seeing it very clearly. The Predators did not have a great third period, even though there were goals and even though there weren't a lot of goals for the Jets. The Preds were just doing a great job of defending. It doesn't mean that the Jets weren't kind of able to have their way in the offensive zone. It just meant that they could get in there and get set up. Fortunately, you have Juuse Saros stopping everything that comes his way. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is this. We've talked a lot about how the Predators have a lot of teams around them in the standings with games in hand. And that was one of the things coming into tonight's game against Winnipeg was that the Jets have 6 games in hand. Well, now the good news is after the win tonight, the Predators have 13 points over the Jets. So even if they win all 6 of those games and pull even in number of games played with the Predators, they're still going to be 1 point behind. Now, why is that good? Because one of the arguments we've heard against the Predators' success, and not really calling it success, is all of these games in hand. Now, there's other teams out there too, but the Jets are one of those that look to be in contention for one of the top spots in the division. But by putting this amount of distance between themselves points-wise, that kind of makes up for the games in hand. It shows you that the Predators are capable of hanging on to some of those top spots in the division, and that's what I'd look for moving forward. Playing a full 60 and continuing to make the case that they belong at the top of the Central Division. And with that, I'm going to send it back over to you, Charlie.
You can find him on Twitter at SCSOTF. You can read his work on theforecheck.com. You can also hear him on a myriad of podcasts across the landscape of Nashville Predators coverage. I call him the one and only. He is a rock star. He is Sean C. Smith. I am so appreciative of having Sean and Mosh and Brian and everybody in the trenches right here with the Renegades of Puck. You know who else I'm extremely appreciative of? Stripe Digital Solutions. StripeDigitalSolutions.com or Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Stripe Digital Solutions. The logo on the wall, the jersey, the crest on the jersey right here, the website, renegadesofpuck.com, our social media plans, the way we are building the brand, everything is being funneled through Stripe Digital Solutions. I simply cannot do it alone. I'm a small business owner trying to build my brand, and it is impossible to be able to track all of the things that are necessary in today's modern world. That's where Stripe Digital Solutions comes in. Brandy's an incredible partner to this show and has been for a long time. One of the earliest supporters of the Renegades of Puck. We sure would appreciate if you would give Stripe Digital Solutions some stick taps, some love and respect. Recently, Brandy jumped back into designing a few graphics for us to help us out and get us ready for the home base freakout. You will be seeing that poster. You will be seeing those graphics all over the city of Nashville coming up supporting the event. Stripe Digital Solutions is an incredible partner, and we would not be able to do this if it weren't for Stripe Digital Solutions. Brian Baston is out tonight. He's having some computer server issues, and if he can't crunch the numbers, then, well, what am I going to do with them? I mean, I'm just kidding. Brian's the best. Brian successfully pulled off a Renegade secret courier drop last night, bringing Chris Mason his brand new Renegades of Puck road jersey at Bridgestone Arena. We sure do appreciate Brian for doing that. We'll get him back on the show soon. Until then, I'll give you a couple of numbers from the box score. 5 different forwards with goals for the Nashville Predators. Granlund, Jeannot, Johansson, Cunnin, and Tolvanen. A bunch of players with assists. Led by the captain, Roman Josi. He had 2. Tennyson gets his first assist as a Nashville Predator. Carrier picks up another point. Benning picks up an assist. Tomasino, Sissons, Johansson, and Granlund also with assists. Mikhail Granlund, of course, leads the Nashville Predators in assists. Shots on goal. Matt Duchene leads the team in this game with 5. And when you're talking about physical category hits, it was Luke Cunnin leading the way in this one. 6 hits total. Mark Borowiecki with 5 in this game. Colton Sissons had 4. Yakov Trenin had 5. Of course, the Nashville Predators are really buying into the physical identity overall. I mentioned Mikhail Granlund led the team in time on ice as far as forwards go, 20-49. And welcome back to the lineup, Matthias Ekholm. He also led the team overall in total time on ice at 25-21. Roman Josi at 22-30. Sounds like a lot, but actually quite a nice break for the captain tonight against the Winnipeg Jets. He had been averaging almost 29 minutes per game with Matthias Ekholm and Dante Fabro both out of the lineup. UC Saros, once again, just to recap with the victory tonight at Bridgestone Arena, 36 out of 38 in this game, 14 out of 15 in the third period, his 21st victory of the season. So for the Nashville Predators, now they'll look to continue keeping pace with the upper echelon of the Central Division. We seem to be getting at least a good picture through the midpoint of the season of who is developing into the top 4 teams of the division and who's developing into the bottom 4 teams of the division. The Nashville Predators did a good job tonight of holding off and fending off the Winnipeg Jets, who are below them in the standings, and keeping pace with the red-hot Colorado Avalanche. No doubt the Central Division is going to end up going through Denver, and more than likely St. Louis is going to have something to say about that. Minnesota, Nashville, right there at the next level. Who will be able to maintain what they have done to this point in the season, and who will continue moving on? Dallas and Winnipeg, we have no idea what those 2 teams can be. The only thing I think we're fairly certain of is that Chicago and Arizona are not really a threat, other than if you take them lightly and don't show up to play when you have a given game against them. But in the overall standings and in the division picture, those 2 teams are frankly irrelevant for the second half of the season and will only be mentioned in a mocking tone. For Mostradamus, for Sean C. Smith, for Brian Baston, for the Ultimate One, for K. Perk, and for each and every one of you Renegades of Puck out there, I'm your host and Captain Crazy Charlie Saunier. I sure am damn proud to have each and every one of you in the trenches with us. Stick taps, love, respect.